So there I was, working at the regular Sports Authority. So after the store manager got fired in the brown cow incident, I had to move to a different location, as you might imagine. So I got moved to Decatur. And y'all know that rap song by Ludacris, in Decatur, where that he robbed neighbors and the night creek. Yeah, that's what it's like. That's accurate. So, so it turns out, in a much less interesting story, that the store manager at this store got fired too for stealing a ping pong table. How, you might ask? I don't actually really know. I just remember that happened, and then I had to get moved again. But before that, there was this guy. He came into the store, and he was older. I thought at the time, I was only like 22. But anyway, so he was putting stuff in his pockets, and I was like, okay, well, maybe he's just like going to take it all to the register and pay for it, I don't know. But then he took a camp stove. And you're like, Courtney, a camp stove? Yeah, a camp stove. Like one of those big, green Coleman 2-burner camp stoves. And he puts it down his pants, like in the waist of his pants. And like, he puts the camp stove in the waistband of his pants and like shoves it down as far as he can. And then he pulls his shirt over it, and he was wearing a jacket, and he pulls his jacket over it. And he starts like waddling out of the store like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And he's just like, get out and try to get out of the store. And so I was like, oh my gosh, he's trying to steal this camp stove. So I have to go up to the front, wait for him to pass all points of payment, and then I apprehend him. And he comes back pretty much without a fight into my office, which was right there by the front door. And once I get him into the office, he acts like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. And so the very first thing that you're supposed to do is find out if they have any weapons, And so at the time, now y'all, this was a long time ago, but you pat them down. And I guess I had a guy in the office with me, and he patted him down. I actually don't remember. The only part that I remember is that old man pulled a knife on me. It's like, are we fixing to scrap with a knife over a camp stove that you shoved into your pants thinking that nobody would notice when you were waddling out of the store with a 2-burner kerosene camp stove in your pants? And he was like, had the blade out and everything, and he was like, I'm pretty sure that there was another person in there with me, and that person like pushed him up against the wall. And he goes, I'm not gonna cut you, honey. And I was like, who in here looks like a honey? But this is what I do remember. So after the cops got him out of the store and we had recovered all of our merchandise from inside his underoos, he went out into the cop car and he told the cop that he didn't feel good, and then he pretended to die. Away to the hospital they go with the guy. And it's a lot of places do this, but DeKalb County does not make it easy to prosecute people for shoplifting, because first of all, I had to put together my case, drive all the way down to the courthouse, and then I had to stand there and wait for the judge to come out, and she was like yelling at me. And I was like, I'm sorry that I apprehended a shoplifter in your county. I'm trying to prosecute him for trying to trying to steal a camp stove and then pretend to die in the parking lot, so the cops have to take him to the hospital instead of taking him to the police station. And here's the $10 that I have to pay you out of my own money, and then file an expense report to get reimbursed so this guy can stay in jail instead of get re-released back on to the street so he could ride around his car and steal camp stoves from other people. I remember that the cop had to use those like little smelling salt capsule things, because the guy was like laying there like completely on the ground, like completely emotionless with his eyes open. And the cop, I thought he was dead, but the cop like busted the smelling salt thing. I don't know what it's called, like under his nose. And the guy didn't even move. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think he's dead. And the cop was like, oh, we'll have to take him to the hospital. But then later they called me after I was trying to petition the judge for a warrant for a felony that had occurred in her county. I don't know why I did that. They called and said that he was fine and that he was faking. But because it was a felony, they had to sit with him at the hospital the whole time while he was pretending. Anyway, that's it for Stakeout Stories. Y'all tune in next time to find out what happened. Do y'all think I should tag Ludacris in my story to see if he'll follow me?